Hey everybody. Okay, so this is going to be a short call, a quick call, but I'm going to talk to you guys about some systems that I've been using. Lots of trial and error on my re-entry team, but I have found something that's working really well, and I shared it with all of the jewels of Slim Jims that were able to make it, and we had a long conversation about everything, and I explained it, and I think that everybody's pretty excited about it, but here's the key. This is supposed to be simple and fun, so I'm not about to instruct you guys to do anything that's either not one of those things, right? I'm not going to tell you guys to do something complicated or not fun. So this is simple and fun. The key to this is there's a few different things that I've got going on for you guys, for the team, that if you plug yourself into, so you know kind of what's happening and you know the flow, so if you've got a little notepad, just write it down so you can kind of visually understand what I'm talking about here. If you understand the flow, the ease of this is all you have to do is plug your people into it. Let me do the work for you. The beauty of Facebook right now is I can schedule posts, right? We all know that we can schedule posts and team pages. So I've developed these programs for you guys and these training systems and all that kind of stuff. So I've done the back work. I literally just schedule it on our team page, and you guys have access to this information. If you plug your people into these particular systems, it's like a machine, y'all. It's a machine and it works. You just have to do the front end parts. So we're going to get started. The first thing that I want you guys to write down, so write down number one, if you've got a pen and paper or maybe your phone, but the first thing is samples. Okay, so little backstory. I was struggling to rebuild a part of my reentry team. Okay, that's where I was. I was kind of stalled out in growth, right? And I wanted to enhance that team. And so where did I start? Samples. What kind of samples did I do? Slim, Metaburn, and lean. Okay, 3-day samples of Slim, Metaburn, and lean. And I've been trying for the past 2 days to upload a video that I made to the team page about how I do my samples. So if it's not uploaded by tonight, I'm going to just redo it and do another live, maybe even tomorrow night or tomorrow, and share with you guys how I do my samples, but it's very simple. Now, in the past, what you guys have seen is, we have different events and we highlight the events on Facebook, right? Oh my gosh, join my 7-day trial or whatever, right? You know what I'm talking about? Well, what I have found that's worked for me is I literally keep samples in my purse at all times. And I message, when I'm cold messaging people or following up with people, I simply say, hey, what's your address? Can I send you a sample of our newer products? Like, I just go for it. All right. And I send them samples. I am out and about and I'm talking with a friend or I meet somebody. Hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? Boom. Here's a sample. What's your name on Facebook? Let me connect with you. Right. And I am bold about giving out those samples. And I give them out. Now, you have the option for people to order them on your website. I have tried that route. And I will say, for me, might be different for you, but for me, I have had a better success rate by just offering these samples. And I use a bag of Slim, a bottle of Metaburn, and a bag of lean. And that's what's simple for me and works for me. And then I use that as a tax deduction personally for my business. Okay. But I will say, I think the ratio, David's better at numbers than I am, but I think the ratio that we looked at for the amount that I did with samples and the money that I got back, it was over like 125%. Okay. Just in like 2 months of giving out samples. So I was making a profit. And then of course that's going to be residual and compound and expand as it duplicates down, which is what the system does. So if you're worried about the cost of samples, I offer that as encouragement for you. Or maybe, something else I'm doing on my reentry team is I'm giving away samples as prizes for them to encourage them to a way to earn samples if they can't afford them. So if you're a leader, I suggest, considering that option. Okay, so samples, I'm bold about handing them out. Now, when I hand them out, what do? We have something that's called our 3-day Slim, Metaburn, and Lean trial event. Have you guys seen it? Raise your hand if you've seen it, right? Okay, so good. So I created this because I felt like our 7-day samples were long, and towards the end, people were like, I'm so disconnected, and they were checked out. So 3 days is super simple with the Slim Meta Burn Lean because they're going to feel a difference. They're going to feel full. They're going to like it, right? It is quick results. Right? And so most of my people that are on day 1 of that trial and they're in those events, they're like, hey, sign me up. I don't want to lose this stuff. I know it's going to take a few days for me to get it, but I'm ready. So that's what I love about this is it's immediate results to benefit people. Now, I have 3-day events set up in the same page. It's not in Slim Jims, but it will always be in the exact same page. So save that URL in your notes. Why do I do that? I felt like in the past when we had multiple ones, it was always hard to find the group, and then you had to add and people had to accept, and then it was like, so we're going to keep it the same. And then if somebody is a part of that group and they didn't particularly join, well, they're going to see those posts again, and maybe the timing is better for them then. And so that repetition of education for them, they're going to see, oh man, there's even more people that are coming. There's new people, and they might go, okay, now is a better time. So same group. Now, depending on the flow of the team and where we are, I typically do 1 or 2 events every month, but there will be an event every single month, and I will announce that. Now, last month, because we came off of convention contest and everybody seemed a little tired and we had pushed really hard at the end of April, I did 1. This month, we're doing 2. So write your calendars down. We've got 1 for June 10th. And before I tell you the wrong one off the top of my head, let me check it. June 10th and June 24th. Those are the 2 that are starting, okay? So I hand out the samples, right? So this is the job that you guys have, hand out samples. That's literally it. Don't you love it, right? That's kind of fun. Hand out samples, that's the fun part. You're getting to talk to people. You're getting excited. You're giving them samples and you're checking in with them. Big old fat star, circle that. If you hand out a sample and never follow up, tisk, tisk, that's not the way this works. You want to circle back with them. But then you plug them in, say, hey, I'm going to add you to a private group that teaches you what these products are and how to take them. It's super short. It's 2 posts a day, but it will help you understand what exactly these products are. So I really don't give them an option per se. I just add them to it, right? They have the choice to accept or not. But even if they don't accept, they can still see the posts. They can't comment, but they can see the posts, which I like, okay? So we get them into that 3-day event. I designed that event with psychology behind it. We all know about the different color personalities of individuals: red, blue, yellow, and green. Red is very driven, blue is all about fun, green is about data, and yellow is heart-driven people. So what motivates people, sectioned into 4 groups. The posts that I make in this 3-day event, there's two each day, there is a post in there that speaks to every color personality of person. So at some point, they're going to go, oh, okay, I resonate with this, or oh, that was perfect information, or oh, that's fun, or oh, wow, they contribute back to the community in this way. And at the end, I always like to try and do some sort of special or highlight something that corporate is doing so they feel special. So it's highly successful. If you are not getting your team plugged into this, and if you are not utilizing this resource, I just kind of want to like gently grab you by the shoulders and say, please start, because it works really, really, really well. Now, what this event promotes is 2 main welcome packs. It promotes the Weight Loss Essentials pack, and it promotes the Variety Welcome pack. So it teaches them along the way about the Slim, Meta Burn, and Lean. And then it talks about the importance of gut health in there and why that's important. And I share stories and all that. So by the end, I talk about, hey, we can marry these 2 things together for you. That's how amazing Plexus is. And it's quite a steal. So at the end, we start talking about that. But by the end, people are going to buy one of 4 welcome packs with this event. And this is why I designed it this way. Weight Loss Essentials, Variety Pack, which is $199, or the Slim, Meta Burn, Lean, or the Slim, Meta Burn Block if they didn't particularly like the Lean, okay? And so these 4 welcome packs, I have stopped promoting strictly triplex starting out. And you might be going, what'd she say? But I'm serious. There's a reason behind it. I really feel like these 4 welcome packs generate quick results. And what that translates into is happier customers, happier ambassadors, and their belief with Plexus is kickstarted immediately. Immediately. So when we introduce the very, very valuable and important ProBio 5 and BioCleanse, for example, which we all know is super important and amazing, they understand, okay, these 2 products right here, they're going to take a little bit of time to heal our gut, but I trust Plexus because I already know I'm feeling something. So they are more likely to stick with it longer. It helps retention. It builds excitement. They have immediate results. And guess what happens from that? They start talking about Plexus and they didn't even mean to. Mark my words. I have developed nearly a list. I've got a list of 22 level 1s on my reentry team, 22 level 1s that are sharing Plexus right now because of this system right here. So if you are in a place of needing to find momentum, rebuild, or build for the first time, this is where you start and this is what you do. It works. So samples are number 1. 2 is your 3-day event. That's the second thing that we plug them in. 3 is what we just got off of, if you guys were attending, is the product call. Every first Tuesday of the month. So write that down. You can count on it like clockwork. Every first Tuesday of the month, we have a short 30-minute product call that I want you guys to invite potentials to, customers, new customers to, and new ambassadors to. Okay, Amy and Jenny Snell, Amy Grimmett and Jenny Snell just helped me host this, and I think it's really good information. This is one of our first ones for the larger group. We might change a little bit up as far as like the flow of things, but we go over the key products that are going to be in those welcome packs that they're probably purchasing. We go over tips and expectations and how to take it, and then Amy wraps it up with a beautiful little bow at the end talking about, let's get you some accountability partners, increase your success, and get it paid for. So at the very end, we just quickly talk about that. But that's going to group all of our new people that are coming in into a sense of community. I don't know if you guys remember years ago when we were building, we had a really great sense of community. Everybody knew each other. This is designed to bring folks together and feel a part of a community where they have support. They see the faces. They're a part of this. Oh, wow, look at all these faces. I'm not alone in this. It's highly, highly beneficial in that regard as well. So samples, 3-day events, then you plug them into the product call, okay? At the end of that call, like I said, Amy talks about going silver. Then in our team page, we have silver and 7. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, but it is a 7-day training event that I created to help everybody. Now listen to this. It's not just for people who have never been silver. I want to make that very clear. This is for everyone because I believe strongly that in order to continue leading a strong business, you want to continue going silver every month. So this is a 7-day event that helps veterans that are, veteran ambassadors that have been around to keep in momentum or jumpstart their momentum. But the key to this is it really teaches your new friends how to work their business. So yes, it tells them what to do, right? Posting, and I give them specific examples. They literally copy and paste the post. Creating their 20 best list, their hot list, right? Their list of whatever you want to call it. It teaches them how. It gives them tips. Messaging, it gives them examples, literally copy and paste. And then every day there's a different tip about messaging. And then 3 days into it, we talk about following up with those people that they messaged 2 days ago. Gives them examples, you copy and paste. And then talking about dialogue, having that dialogue with Plexus. That's important. You don't want to just post and message and not get any conversations going. You want dialogue. So every day, it's super simple. Copy, paste, 4 different things. Tells them what to do. And along the way, every day, it's teaching your newbies why they're doing this, tips about messaging, tips about following up. So it becomes a source of training for your team so you don't have to do it. You don't have to send them to a phone call or a video where they feel like they have to sit for an hour and watch. It's short information that they can follow. So you guys are starting probably to see, okay, I can see the flow of this, right? And guys, you're not doing any of this. You're literally plugging your people into this. How amazing is that for you? You're finding people, giving out samples, plugging them into the 3-day event, signing them up, plugging them into the product call. They're curious about silver. You plug them into the silver and 7. This might be a great option for you. They get trained from that, right? And then the second, and the silver and 7, I haven't quite nailed down exactly when I want it every month. It kind of depends on like the flow of things. Like this month, I started it the first week on my reentry. For our entire team, I'm going to be doing it during the week of convention because I want our folks that aren't in convention to stay active while we're gone. So I may kind of float around with when that happens, but you can guarantee that it's happening. If it's not on my team page, it's probably on one of your other leaders' team page at some point, or we can kind of figure out a way to do it on Slim Jims together. But the second Tuesday of every month, okay, so write this one down. The second Tuesday of every month is what I've called Sharing 101. It's a Sharing 101 call. 30 minutes for anybody that's 1% interested in the business. This can be customers that are interested in business. This can be potentials that are interested in the business. This can be ambassadors that have joined and they're like, okay, I'm kind of interested. It literally goes step by step over the basics of sharing and makes it wildly simple. Wildly, wildly simple. And that's our business call every second Tuesday of the month. And then, you know, I may have another silver and 7. So samples are your key. Plugging your newbies into the 3-day event is key. Following up with them during that event is going to be your responsibility, right? So talking and following up is your responsibility. Plugging them into the product call, let us do the talking for you. Plugging them into the silver and 7, let us do the training for you. And pick up on anything that you want to add to it, but just trust that we're there to support you. And then plugging any potentials that are business builders into the business call. And every month, if you just kind of flow with that and trust those systems that are there and start off, I highly believe if you start off with the correct welcome pack, that's going to be a big one. Weight loss essentials, variety, slim lean metaburn, slim lean block. Start them off with the right welcome pack and circle in. You will find duplication in this. One last thing that I want to say, and again, this is going to be a short call. One last thing I want to say is when you plug in or when you sponsor somebody, I encourage you to have a mindset shift. The end result is not them clicking enroll. The end result that you should feel when you sign somebody up is that first week of them starting their products. You need to be almost obsessed, in a light term, obsessed with them getting a positive result. With them getting a positive result. So don't just worry, okay, I got an ambassador, let's move on to the next. I mean, you should be kind of using 2 wheels at once, right? But get an ambassador, and then I'm going to be their best friend. I'm going to check in, and I want to make sure they know that they are important to me because they are, and I want them to be successful. I'm going to make sure, hey, how's your first day? How are you feeling? Oh, that's a win. That's amazing. You're loving it. Great. You know, and in that first week, I want to get 1, 2, 3, 4 wins from them. And that I have made such a huge priority to my new level ones. And then along those ways, when I hear these wins, I'm saying, hey, and here's what I'm doing. This is another sample piece of the puzzle. Hey, and I'm offering this for my level 1, so this is something you can consider. Hey, I would love to offer you 1, 2, 3 3-day samples for you to hand out to friends because I'm sure you're feeling awesome and people might be asking and you might know somebody who wants this. Can I offer you that? And more times than not, I get a yes. And here's how I get my commitment from them. I say, okay, who might want these samples? I want to hear names because I want them to commit, psychologically commit to handing them out to a particular person. And they say, oh, I was thinking about my mom and my sister. Awesome. Well, I'll give you 2 samples then, right? And if they say, well, I was also thinking, about my coworker. Okay, great. I'll give you 3. So I do up to 3, 1 to 3 based on the names of people that they are thinking about. And I hand out samples. And then what do? They plug them into the 3-day event. They end up joining. They plug them into the product call. And before you know it, you've got this duplication that's happening that stems from samples and that stems from these systems that are already in place. And then when you have somebody that's loving the products, that's sending out samples, that has gotten a few people to join them, mark my words, they're going to be excited. Plug them into your team chat or plug them into your team page. Highlight every single thing that they're doing amazing. Let them feel welcome in your team. The bug is going to bite them, and they're going to go, hey, I can do this, and this is fun. And before you know it, you've got a team of a lot of people doing a little bit of activity, and that's the goal in this. You want a lot of people doing a little bit of consistent activity. You don't need somebody, it would be amazing, but you don't need somebody to just, fly to Emerald. That's hard to find. It's rare to find. And it can lead to burnout with people. But if we as a team find this flow of these systems where we have a lot of people going just silver, right? You sign somebody up, they're loving it, offer them some samples, plug them into the 3-day event, plug them into the product call. Oh, now they're asking questions about silver. Well, let's plug them into silver and 7. See how this is working? Can I get a thumbs up if y'all are seeing the flow with this? That's how duplication is created. And now you've got a lot of people doing a little bit of stuff, right? So that is what I have found to be working really, really well for my reentry team. I know I've got a couple girls on the call right here that are on that reentry team that are just killing it. They're amazing. And I know Amy has been on my reentry team page, and she and I are power partners, and she's been doing this with her team. Amy, do you want to say anything to that? I'd love for you to, if you want to, but it's been working, and I hope that you guys use these systems.
I am on that page, and I've been just seeing a lot of action, a lot of commenting, a lot of excitement. I will say even one of, I think she's my level 3, she was super nervous to post and put herself out there, really didn't know what to say or, which direction to go. And especially some of you who've been, with Tara, for 4+ years, it's really crazy to think about something as simple as posting. We've been doing it for so long. We know how to engage our audience. And, someone who hasn't approached their page in that light, it can be kind of overwhelming, and they really don't know where to go. So I will say the silver and 7, that's the most recent thing that I tried out, and I'm loving it. I really think that, like she said, these systems are super easy to follow, super easy to duplicate, and I'm loving it. I think it's great. I think it's a great new approach, and I really encourage everyone to kind of incorporate it too. It also is super easy with time. I know we all have really busy lives and kids, and it's summer, so yeah, but it's super easy to implement, and I have found with the 30 days I've been exposed to it that everybody's really liking it. So
awesome. Well, you've had some major growth too, and you've got some developing rock stars. And so if I can see this increase and growth happening on 2 separate teams, it gives me a lot of faith and a lot of belief that this is going to work for everyone. And so I hope that this excites you guys. Does anybody have any questions? I want to give you guys the opportunity for questions, but I want you guys to know that this is simple, and all you got to do is just talk about Plexus, give out samples, and plug them in, and let the machine kind of work for you. Any questions?
Tara, there was a couple in the chat from people, if you could see.
Oh yeah, okay, let me read. So important to get them a win ASAP. Here we go. Will the silver and 7 be in a separate Facebook page? Great question. That's a common question I'm getting. No, it will be in the way I'm doing it is it's in my team page. And again, that kind of goes back to the 3-day event, the same psychology behind it. Repetition, right? Events on Facebook and new pages on Facebook, you have to have that acceptance, and then and it takes forever for them to actually accept the invite. And on your page, on our team page, and actually I want to bring this up, on our main team pages, there's power in numbers, right? And I am a full proponent of people creating their own team pages, but what that can lead to in my 5.5 years of doing this, and I've witnessed it, what it can lead to is, yes, you're taking ownership for your team, but it takes the power of numbers away. Because if you post something that, for example, I post something in Slim Jims, and then you go and do it in your smaller team page, then the larger team page, all the eyeballs and that team page does not see a lot of activity on that. So everybody kind of assumes that people aren't doing it. And then you've got it on your smaller team page that probably has less participation than maybe a larger team page would, just based on numbers. And so then your team doesn't think a lot of people are doing it. So it decreases participation on certain things like this. Does that make sense? So the more we can use the power of numbers of larger team pages, I promise you what will happen is people will see the excitement and want to be a part of it. So I keep my silver and 7 inside that larger team page. I will be posting it in Slim Jims. I just wanted to have this call first. And having that activity happen there, because it's kind of like, ooh, everybody's doing it. I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. Wow, this is exciting. And then it creates a culture within your teams, because it's part of our larger team. All of your teams are in there, but it creates a massive wide culture that it's the norm to share, that it's the norm to go silver. And that is the culture that you want to create on your team, that it is normal when people join to be sharing Plexus and going silver. So every day when I'm doing this silver and 7, guess what they're seeing on the team page? Silver, 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 silver. And it creates that repetition in their mind that this is normal. And so that's why I've decided to keep it on the team page. Long answer to a short question, but that was the psychology behind it. I hope that helps, Kathy. Erin, I love the sharing 101. What method of sharing is taught on this call? Duplicating samples, 3-day events. Yeah, so it's samples, it's events, but I'm trying to remember our exact flow, Amy, of us doing it last time, but it's tips on how to post, tips on messaging, what to expect. So it's those questions that early newbies would have to go, okay, well, I don't really know what that looks like. And so, yes, we share systems, but I don't go into it like this. That would be too much. They'd be like, whoa, what is all of this? But it just eases them into, okay, really, if you just talk to people about this, this is how you talk to people about this. This is how you go silver, the accountability piece of it. It's a very simplistic view of sharing. So sharing 101, literally 101. So it gets them to feeling confident enough to begin opening their mouth about sharing. Now, if your team really loves ATM, that's where you would plug them in to that. I would call it 201 training. That's an upper level training. Once you've got them like, okay, I've got this, I've got the basics down, the back to square one basics, that's where you would take them to that level of training. But this stuff is like bare basics. And I've seen that what we cover on this call really empowers people to go, oh, okay, I could do that. That makes sense. It covers those common early questions. Does that help, Erin? I hope that helps. Okay. Can't find the Silver and 7 group on Facebook. So again, there's not a group. It's going to be in our team page, and I will be posting. I've got one of those later this month during convention. I will be launching that on Slim Jims during convention, so the week of the 17th, I believe. So stay tuned for that. Large numbers create social validation. Yes, makes sense. Tara, can we repost the last one? It's recorded. Yes, I'd love to repost the last business sharing call so you guys can take a look at that and you guys feel confident in that call. We'll absolutely repost that sharing 101 call for you guys. Okay, any other questions? Do y'all feel good about this? Are you excited about this? Give me some silly faces or like, woo! Yeah? Okay, I hope that this helps you guys. It should be simple, fun, and this creates duplication. All right. Have an awesome night. Love you guys.